Buffalo Bills cut down to a 53-man roster has already begun with a roster cut at the linebacker position. We could see in the image here that it was former Pro Bowl player Deion Jones actually being released by the Buffalo Bills. Very well could be because of our guy, Buffalo Joe Bruin, fighting for his way on this 53-man roster. In this video, I want to go through the developing stories of all the Buffalo Bills projections from various sites. We're going to take a look at what ESPN and others are saying is going to be best for the 2024 Buffalo Bills. And to be honest, I think ESPN nailed it with their article by saying that this Buffalo Bills 2024 projected roster is really going to be determined by injuries and how injuries are going to be shaping up this roster, because we all know all the injuries that we had going into it, including MVS, Curtis Samuel, but how is this going to really impact the cut down to 53? The article says the Bills continue to deal with a variety of injuries to key players and additions this offseason that will impact the start of the season. And they really went on to say that Marquez Valdez-Scantling with the neck, Curtis Samuel with the toe, injuries in the linebacker and safeties rooms really got impacted the hardest, and what to do at backup quarterback with Mitch Trubisky. It says that setting up this roster at cut down day will be a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. The new rule that was implemented that 2 players can be designated to return on cut down day will be used, in addition to likely further adjustments to the injured reserve after the initial cuts. So the Bills do have some more options this year, per Elena Getzenberg, the Buffalo Bills ESPN insider. So 4 p.m. on Tuesday, the Bills will have until cut down. Just knowing Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott, I'm anticipating the Bills to be cut down before that. It's very rare that we wait until the last minute. So I'm sure we're going to start hearing between today, tomorrow, all the players that are going to be released. New York Times article has Buffalo Joe fighting to make this roster. And to me, I think he clearly showed that he did enough to be at least a practice squad player. I don't see the Bills letting this kid go. A homegrown local kid. I mean, are you kidding me? Plus, like ESPN mentioned, all the injuries that have occurred at the linebacker spot, I think he is definitely going to make this team. We got Balin Spector, Dorian Williams, but the injury with Matt Milano, we already let go of Deion Jones. I think he is definitely going to be making this team. And you call it doomsday, but the Bills are cutting down to a 53-man roster. We can clearly see that the Bills are projected to be keeping both quarterbacks, Mitch Trubisky and Josh Allen. You could see the preseason finale did not help DiNucci or Brown's chances. Mitch Trubisky is likely going to be the guy that stays here. If Trubisky is an IR candidate, we all know that he was hurt, so we really have to see what's going to unfold. Mitch Trubisky could very well just be an IR candidate, and don't rule out a trade for a quarterback is something the Bills are projecting here. I think to start the season, the Bills might very well just go with DiNucci and Josh Allen, and knowing that Mitch Trubisky is going to come back. I mean, as the season progresses, each game really gets more and more important. I know each game is all equaling the same, but I think later in the year, we'll have Mitch Trubisky. Come the playoffs, we'll have the backup quarterback when the games are really important. Running back, it's projected that we're going to keep 4 running backs with James Cook, Ray Davis, Ty Johnson, and Reggie Gilliam. We all know that Frank Gore Jr. did some amazing things here too as well, but you could see running back is an open and shut case. Cook is a starter with Davis and Johnson as primary backups. Gilliam is the team's fullback while serving on special teams unit. The only question is if their practice squad running back is on the roster, but Frank Gore Jr. is relatively a safe bet for that role. Release, they're saying that it's going to be Darrington Evans with an injury settlement. Now, to start this offseason, the Bills were wondering what was going to happen at this wide receiver crew, but we can clearly see that we got Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, who is going to be ready to go for this upcoming season. I'm drafting him in my fantasy league, that's for sure. Curtis Samuel, Mac Hollins, MVS, Tyrell Shavers, all making this team. Players at the bottom that we're going to release is Andy Isabella, Demir Bird. Now, Andy Isabella to me is just absolutely incredible. I think he could very well come back to the Bills. The waived ones, Justin Shorter, KJ Hamler, Xavier Johnson, Deion Kane. Now, KJ Hamler did some great things. And really, I know we're all anticipating MVS to really make this team, but listening to Steve Tasker and Chris Brown, I really think MVS could very well be the big surprise here. Now, I know we gave him a lot of money, guaranteed money for this upcoming year. I don't know how the contract is structured, but at times with his injury too, I think at times we were expecting maybe a little bit more. And I know as the season progresses, we've seen it so many years with Emmanuel Sanders, some of the veterans that come in here on just 1 year stints. Towards the end of the year, they start really finding their way with this team. Tight end, I think this is pretty much solidified here. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, Quentin Morris. I know Zach Davidson did some big-time things for the Bills. He could very well come back. Offensive line, this article says La'el Collins and Will Clapp will be the players released that were waiving Richard Garage, Kevin Jarvis. I really trust Aaron Cromer in his decision here to pick the best guys on this team. And from what I saw, I think La'el Collins is definitely getting up in age. I mean, be a great depth piece and someone to help out throughout the season. I mean, Will Clapp did great. Richard Garage, Kevin Jarvis, all these guys, we have so much depth on this offensive line. So it's going to be very interesting to see which ones are kept, which ones are brought back. You could see defensive end here. Cameron Klein is the guy that is going to get waived. Greg Rousseau, AJ Epinesa, Dwan Smoot, Von Miller, Javon Solomon, and Kingsley Jonathan all making this team at defensive end. Defensive tackle, I think it's clear cut and dry here. Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, Austin Johnson, and Dwayne Carter. The players that we release are Eli Anku, Deshaun Williams. I mean, Anku was a guy that we kind of stashed last year on this team. I think he just is so familiar with the Buffalo Bills. I think he likes being here, and Eli Anku could very well come back. Now, a really interesting spot here is the linebacker, Terrell Bernard, Dorian Williams, Balin Spector, Nicholas Morrow, and Joe Andresen. Here we could really see are going to be the top guys. Buffalo Joe making this team officially. You could really see that we already did release Deion Jones. And to me, Matt Milano on IR. On the injured reserve, we have Matt Milano. Cornerback, we got Rasul Douglas, Christian Benford, Kyer Elam, Jamarcus Ingram, and Daquan Hardy all making this team, which makes sense. Taylor Rapp, Cole Bishop, Mike Edwards, Damar Hamlin, the four safeties for the 2024 Buffalo Bills. I know the specialists, a lot of people getting on Tyler Bass, the kicks here, and this last game versus the Panthers, it was a 50-plus yard kick. That's no easy kick for the Buffalo Bills. Now, I think Tyler Bass, he has had his miss going back to last year, but I think Tyler Bass is still a great kicker for Bills Mafia, and I think we just got to stick with him here. And I really believe maybe the Bills not having all the confidence in the world in Tyler Bass because of the recent misses makes us go for it more often on fourth down, which could actually make the Bills even better going forward. And who knows the approach here with Joe Brady? He could be ultra aggressive anyways, regardless of this Tyler Bass drama that's occurring. I think Tyler Bass is still a great kicker, and especially you need your kicker to be good on the road. A lot of people are saying Tyler Bass doesn't fit our stadium. His style of kicking doesn't fit the Buffalo wind and the weather here. But, my thought is if we're at home, we should be dominating any team that comes here in Buffalo. It should not come down to a field goal to beat any team here in Buffalo. On the road, I could see it. Tyler Bass, we need you, baby. Appreciate you guys all so much. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like, subscribe. Also, check the link in the description to the BNC chicken wing merch. We have blue, black, red, gray. We have Zumba styles, sizes small through 5XL. Also, check the link to Course Careers. You can get $50 off an online certificate to get a remote job in accounting, digital advertising, software development, IT, data analytics. They have so many free courses for you guys to check out and see if you're a good fit. But I appreciate you. Hit like, subscribe, and go Bills.